3 months into their counteroffensive, Ukrainian forces have made modest gains but have yet to land a decisive blow. Anatoly StepanovAFP. Via Mikhail Khodorkovsky, a former political prisoner and CEO of Yukos Oil Company, is the author of How to Slay the Dragon, Building a New Russia After Putin. While Russian President Vladimir Putin's senseless brutality against Ukraine continues, Ukraine's valiant resistance continues. However, 3 months passed since the counterattack, and although Ukrainian forces have made modest gains, they've not yet been able to strike a decisive blow. As winter approaches and war drags on, the siren calls urging Ukrainian leaders to negotiate a ceasefire will grow louder. And Putin hopes those voices will grow louder as United States presidential campaign approaches. My view, based on everything I know about Putin and the nature of his regime, is that such attempts to persuade Ukraine to negotiate with him would be a mistake, and that no ceasefire agreed under current conditions will bring peace in the long term. Instead, it will give Putin's regime the opportunity to strengthen its ability to wage war. And sooner or later it will. But let's examine the possibilities and possible pitfalls. I am not expert enough on Ukraine's domestic politics to say with confidence whether President Volodymyr Zelenskyy will be able to obtain a valid public mandate to negotiate a ceasefire. But that seems unlikely, and such assessments are further complicated by fact that, unlike Russia, when next election is held in Ukraine, leader cannot know outcome advance. But for the sake of argument, let's assume that Zelenskyy is politically motivated and can come to the table. That leaves Putin, who does not see the current situation as a disaster. Despite Russia's dismal military performance, heavy casualties, international isolation and economic damage from the war, although ridiculous, Russian society generally accepts his defensive war rhetoric and appears prepared for significant challenges. While economic sanctions have a strategic impact, they are porous enough to handle most important shipments in short term. And regime's coffers can still meet increased wage demands needed to recruit troops. Putin is also counting on the West to be war-weary and hopes and expects an American government to be more willing to give up some of its interests in Europe. However, war fatigue is increasing in Russian society, and it takes time to restructure the economy to accommodate war. Soviet-era weapons stocks are dwindling and domestic production is insufficient to replace them. This is the reason for the recent visit of North Korean leader Kim Jong Un. Meanwhile, population in the captured territories in Ukraine is not sufficiently integrated to be used as resources. It may never happen, given level of resistance to Russia's occupation, and as elections approach. No matter how predetermined their outcome, Putin will want voters to feel like something has been won.